Hello and welcome to this edition of Salima Speaks. Today I have Peggy Bradford on, and she's going to talk to you about nutrition. And she's just an average, everyday woman that knows a lot about nutrition and the diet and getting you in shape. And she's going to give you some pointers on how to do all of that. So hello, Peggy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. And this is one of my Facebook friends. See, Facebook is not all bad. I meet some really good people on Facebook.
It's been a pleasure to connect with you.
Oh, thank you so much. And tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
Originally from Cherry Hill,
Okay.
New Jersey, and I reside in Washington Township, New Jersey.
Okay.
I'm married and I have a young girl, 6 years old.
Oh, I didn't know you had a child that young.
Yeah,
Okay.
she keeps me going.
I'm so sure. Okay, so what made you decide to get into this? Tell me a little bit more about your background.
Okay, long story short, about 3 years ago, I had a hysterectomy, which put me into surgical menopause, and as a result of that, I had to go on hormone replacement because I was young.
Right.
In that process, I gained probably about 30 pounds, and I didn't feel good. I was not happy with the way I was and how I felt, so I consulted with my doctors, and ultimately nobody could give me a definitive answer whether I should stay on hormone replacement or what was going to happen.
No, why did you have to have a hysterectomy at such a young age?
I had fibroid tumors, and I had a cyst on my ovary that was causing me excruciating pain in my rectum area.
Now, you know what now I know somebody that had serious fibroid tumors, and I know someone that had a cyst on their ovaries, and you had both.
I had both, but the ovary, the cyst on my ovary, which was causing me the most problem.
Okay. They couldn't just remove the cyst?
Well, I only had, no, it was too connected and too intertwined that I would have to, and I was having too many issues as it was.
Now, you already had your daughter.
My daughter's actually adopted.
Okay.
But, sorry. So I contacted my doctor, and I went through, you know, the different options and stuff, and really the way I felt being on hormone replacement, it just wasn't something for me. I was on it a year, and ultimately I decided that there was something that I had to do on my own. So I'll never forget it. I walked in the house and I said to my husband, you know what, the only one that's going to do something about this is me. And it's not going to be a diet, it's going to be a lifestyle change.
Wow.
And in that's when I created my own food and exercise plan. And in a year, I lost 75 pounds.
Really?
And I've kept it off for 2 years.
So now, you went to the internet and studied on what to do?
I went to the internet, I researched, and it's been a basic equation. Calories in, calories out, meaning I'm more attuned to the things that I choose. I eat more proteins and things like that. Calories out, first and foremost, I recommend to everybody a pedometer. It's been huge in my my weight loss journey.
Really? Okay.
Yes. The experts say 10,000 steps a day is what you should do to maintain or lose weight and get healthy. So I did that, and I created my own exercise routine, which is jogging in place using weights. Weights is good with resistance, building muscle, so forth.
So just hold hand weights?
I jog, and I do things like I do exercises. I created my own little workout, and why I also did it that way is because what I've done is something that I can do the rest of my life. It's everyday things that I can do.
You don't have to run to a gym.
I can't make excuses to gym. I got tired of the elements outside, so this is something that I can do day in and day out, anywhere. As long as I have my weights, I can jog or
And
walk.
that's so important, because so many people join a gym or they buy a piece of exercise equipment, and the exercise equipment becomes a clothes hanger. They'll put clothes on it, they won't even work out on it, so they spend all this money for nothing. Or they'll say, I don't have time to go to the gym, or I'm too tired. But to just have weights and jog in place, that makes sense. And how long did you do that? I think how many minutes a day?
I do that an hour every day, but the thing about that as well is that you can break it up throughout the day. Why people also don't stick to exercises, they feel like they got to get in there and they got to put it all in and kill themselves. Everything counts. If you do 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, it all counts towards burning calories. So there's days that I don't feel like doing an hour in a row. I'll do 15 minutes, I'll go away and I'll come back. So it's all about listening to your body and everything in moderation. But that's what I tell people, that you don't...
So when you say, I'm sorry, moderation, when you say as far as food goes, I think that's most people's problem. You know, they want to eat what they like, and then they wind up eating too much.
Well, before I started this journey, I would be at the table and I would eat, and I would get up when I was busting at the seams,
Right,
and I would walk
exactly.
away. Now, I eat sensibly, and I get up give that 20 minutes, as they say, for your to catch up to your brain to tell you that you're full.
Oh, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm not a nutritionist, but I do know, I've read that it takes 20 minutes for it to register. I mean, it's coming down here, but it takes 20 minutes for it to reach your brain to tell you that you're full. So a lot of people wait until they keep going and going until it hit, and it's too late because it's already, you know what I'm saying?
That's why some people feel so miserable like 20 minutes later after they've eaten a big meal, because then it registers, I just ate a whole turkey.
Right, exactly. And then you feel horrible. So I'm much more sensitive and much more, I'm more particular about the things that I choose and as far as eating. But the key to that as well is I didn't cut out all these kind of food groups. You have to be realistic, because when you're not realistic, you're not going to stick to it.
Exactly.
I eat ice cream every night before I go to bed.
Are you serious?
And I'm not talking about no little Dixie cup. I eat a big cup and I zzz with the whipped cream. People laugh at me, yes, and I eat full-fat ice cream and regular whipped cream. I've been doing that, and I will never give that. If I'm going to give up my ice cream, you might as well put me in a corner.
Exactly.
It's not being realistic.
Right.
I'm not. If I'm going to say I'm going to eat that dietetic thing over here, and that's a big thing right there. I do not use the word diet. I don't like it. I feel like it right away tells you you're restricted. You can't. Lifestyle change.
So what you're so you change the way you eat, but you still eat your snacks and your ice cream, but exercising. You know, I did find out, because I used to go to the gym. We used to work at Bally's, as a matter of fact, and when I was working out, because I have my weight goes up and down. It's higher now than it's ever been. It goes up and down. But I know over the last year I gained about 50 pounds. And I know that when I do exercise an hour a day, I can basically eat the way I want to eat, within moderation. Like, you can't become a glutton, but if you exercise an hour a day, I do find out that you can kind of eat what you want.
And the thing about it is you don't have to kill yourself with that hour. There was a study that I read. Children, how they run, they do things like they'll play and they'll run for 10 minutes and they say they burn so many calories, because if you think about it, if you exercise for 10 minutes, you have all that energy. You're going to put your heart and soul in that.
Right.
If you're killing yourself for an hour, your heart and you can't always put on 10 minutes here, you give it your best shot, another 10 minutes there. You see what I'm saying?
That
so
makes
it's not,
sense.
and it all counts the same. This is what people don't get. It all counts the same.
But you know, so many people, if you listen to this person says this person says that, because I did talk to someone, and he was saying that you should exercise vigorously for a minute, and then for 5 minutes take your time, then vigorously another minute, and then, you know, so, and that worked for him. Then other people say exercise for 20 minutes nonstop, and then the last 10 minutes you take your time, you do it slower. So, but I think that you have to do what works for you.
Well, everybody's body, everybody's body's different, but they do say that because that helps rev up your metabolism.
Right.
I mean, if you do those bursts or whatever, that burns more calories. There is a science to doing certain things.
Right.
And I can do those different things, but I opted, what I made for myself, I wanted to be able to follow the rest of my life.
Exactly.
And I do, and one thing that people also need to realize, and that was happening to me, prior to me doing this, I walked for 12 years, every day, 3 miles a day. But guess what happened? My body became immune to it. It was no longer working for me. You have to, they always say, health and fitness experts say you have to change it up.
Do you know, I did that with swimming, because I'm an avid swimmer. I was swimming every day. Wow. Do you know I stopped losing weight, and I was so upset. And I just finished my lifeguard course, and I didn't take the test for it, but that's a different story. But I was working out, I was swimming every day. My body was getting somewhat toned, but I was not losing the weight. And that's what the instructor told me, that your body became immune to it because you're doing it every day.
You have to, and I'm noticing myself now, I have to switch it up a little. Yeah, I mean, it does happen, and you have to, you know, switch it up a little bit and do different things. But it's important, just moving, and this is where the pedometer comes in. Stepping is important, moving is important, every step counts. It's a known, and it's been huge in my weight loss journey. But exercise doesn't have to be a death sentence.
Right.
It really doesn't.
So many people think I have to work out.
It doesn't have to be. And what also is good for me, because I'm in menopause, using weights, and I don't mean heavy weights, is very good for me for my bones. Because right now I am not. I have no estrogen in my system at all. I'm 46, and my bones are more susceptible to having osteoporosis and different things because I didn't realize how much estrogen plays in a woman's body. It's not only for your reproductive system and everything, it's your teeth, it's your hair, it's your bones. I never realized all that. It plays a huge part. So it's
now you found out all this online? Once you start researching?
Since I started this whole journey, I get all kinds of health magazines. I do a lot of reading. And yes, I've learned a lot from that. Again, I always tell people I am not a nutritionist, a dietitian. I'm an everyday woman that understands the struggles of weight loss. Wow. And in that, I ultimately had to make the decision, I'm going to do this on my own, and I needed to research it. I needed to find out, and that's what I did. And nobody can believe that I did this without any diet pills. I get told that all the time. You weren't on a structured diet, you didn't take diet pills. No, and it is possible. There's living proof of it, which I'll get into with my Steps to Good Health. It's possible.
Okay.
It really is, but you have to be realistic.
Okay, well, we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about Peggy's plan to lose weight. Maybe she can help me. Hi, and welcome back. We were talking to Peggy Bradford about her weight loss plan, and we have one of her members here. And she's going to tell us more about the plan because you actually lost weight.
Yes.
And what is your name again? I'm sorry.
My name's Christina Place.
Christina Place.
I belong to a group called Steps to Good Health,
Okay.
in which Peggy Bradford is the founder of the page.
Okay, that's the name of the group, Steps to Good Health.
Right.
Okay.
I started reading. I've been a member now this August, 1 year.
Okay.
I started reading, and by January I was ready to make some changes in my life.
Were you severely overweight?
Yeah, 53 pounds overweight.
Wow.
So,
And how long did it take you to lose that weight?
from January 3rd to probably, I'd say, about June 15th.
Oh, that's not bad.
Right. And I did it through basically the same thing as Peggy was stating, that, you know, everything in moderation and diet and exercise. Well, not really diet. It's lifestyle change, as she stated.
So you start walking for an hour a day, or
No,
working out?
I have a disability that prohibits me from doing that much
Really?
at any one time.
Okay, so what did you do?
Little intervals.
Okay.
Worked my way up. The most I can walk at any given time is 20 minutes.
Okay.
And that's on
So
a good
that
day.
worked for you, the shorter exercise time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It was learning to make realistic goals for
Okay.
myself. And when you accomplish those goals, you tend to want to continue on the good path.
Right.
So you don't feel as though you fail.
Well, and so you actually stopped eating as much? You cut back on what you eat?
I started doing portion control on
Okay.
a 1,200 calorie day diet through using MyFitnessPal. I would calculate my calorie intake.
Okay.
And it also calculated any type of form of exercise. I recorded that as well, and then this way I was able to say I needed to eat 1,400 calories a day. As long as I had the exercise in there,
Okay.
I could boost my calorie intake up to that 14.
Okay, you know, I'm actually going to try this plan. I've tried so many, and one does work for me. I'm not going to mention it, but it is kind of difficult because you have to really stay away from certain foods. But I'm going to talk more to Peggy, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, and we're back with Peggy Bradford, an inspirational woman that's helping so many people to get their weight under control, and she's going to tell you more about where you can find out about her steps to good health.
After I completed my weight loss, I wanted to reach out to others because I know I'm not the only one with a weight issue.
Right.
So I started.
Most women.
So I started a group called Steps to Good Health on Facebook.
Okay.
We have 3,500 members from around the world.
Wow.
And with the help of the media, wonderful media like you, I've been able to reach out, and everything we do is free. We do steps challenges, goals challenges, recipe boards. I have giveaways. We do local walks. It's a support group of positive. Everything we do is positive. I wouldn't tolerate anything negative.
And see, when we don't have an excuse now, I can't afford this because most people, I can't afford Weight Watchers, I can't afford. So everything that you do is free.
And
bless your heart.
Thank you. And people can come on there and they can be themselves. They can go 24/7. Facebook is 24/7,
right.
and they can tell their stories and they can be themselves. And the thing about this group, which is amazing, and I'm the one that's blessed, is when somebody posts something, people jump on and the support is amazing. I've sat at my computer and cried just because it's so uplifting and so amazing.
Okay, so tell people again how they can reach you.
If you're on Facebook, it's called Steps to Good Health, and all you do is ask to join, and you come on and you tell your story. And the only thing that I tell everyone to get is a pedometer.
Okay.
That has been huge in my weight loss journey and so many, and it's very motivational.
And you're saying they should take 10,000 steps a day?
10,000 steps a day is what they recommend, but I tell people every step counts. Do what's comfortable for you. One day and one step at a time.
And see, that's why I try to tell people, because people wonder why I say don't forget to stretch when I end each show. But because when I was in Georgia, I met a lot of people that didn't do anything. So I said, if you sit in your chair and you just stretch, just do something. So I remind people, you know, that at least you're doing something.
If you have a desk job, get up for 1 minute, walk around, jog in place. This is going to sound crazy. People laugh at me. I jog in place when I do the dishes. I jog in place when I talk on the phone. I walk in place. Any way, it makes a difference. It burns calories. There's study after study that's coming out saying how important it is. Your life is extended, they're saying now,
exactly.
by just moving. If you sit sedentary for 3 hours straight, they're saying you're cutting your life down, believe it or not.
And so many people with the computer, that's all they do for hours, sit at the computer for hours and don't move. You know, when I was a child, we jumped rope, we hiked, we moved.
Outside, well, we didn't have the video games and all the technology they have today. I remember I had an imaginary friend. I was outside chasing my imaginary friend.
Oh, see, me too. I had an imaginary friend. And mine had a name. His name was Who. Okay.
There you go. There you go. And I guess what? Back then, you did whatever. And today it's very different. And that's why we have such a weight epidemic in this country. And I just did this really from my heart because I never want anybody to feel alone. I know how I felt when I was going through it. I have wonderful family and friends, but I felt alone.
Wow.
And I never want anyone to feel like that again.
Very good. I thank you so much for coming on my show and sharing your story with people. And I'm going to join your group. I really am. You know, like I said, I've tried everything, and I'm going to try this. And you guys are going to see, you know, have everything changes for me. I'll let you know. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And health is very important. And love yourself and love others. And don't forget to stretch. Bye now.